Nickolai on your left, Mellish on your right, blue-white control, blue-red Kiki Moon. Both these players in top 8 contention. They're not names you're familiar with. And these aren't decks that we see a ton. But here they are, and we're underway. It's a flooded strand there from Matthew Nickolai.
And another benefit for Nickolai in this matchup is his mana is pretty clean. A lot of basic lands, so not too vulnerable to Blood Moon.
A basic island here from Matthew Nickolai. While James with his blue-red Kiki Moon. Let's go over and watch an opt be cast here by James. Oh, looks like we're going to be opting to... After he separates his deck, sorts his deck, excuse me. To the top. And now draw. That's an old school opt, by the way. That's that invasion opt.
Yeah, that doesn't meet my bar for old school.
No?
Yeah.
That's not old enough?
No.
Wasn't invasion like 99 or something?
2000.
Okay. You know that was 18 years ago, right?
I know it was a long time ago.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
My first PTQ win was a format in which op was legal.
Okay. That's nice. That is nice. A Celestial Colonnade there from Matthew Nickolai. 18 years ago is disturbing to think about.
I can't even believe that.
That's a lot. That's a long time. Here's a flooded strand.
My bar for old school, I know this is not a reasonable bar.
I'm glad you're saying that beforehand.
Dark and below and before.
Okay.
The dark and before.
Okay. Tough crowd here.
Yeah. I'm just old. That's
Here's his Serum Visions. James will draw a card and he'll scry 2. Remand in hand as well here for our blue-red Kiki Moon player. Looks like he picked up a copy of Blood Moon finally.
Ooh, might actually be good this game.
Yeah, you see the Colonnade in the Fortress. Now you can scry. There we go. Spell Snare Remand. See ya.
Yeah, I think he's just looking for a land here.
Maybe another Serum Visions or hold up Remand?
Remand.
One of your favorites, we know.
Yeah.
Matthew Nickolai, our blue-eye control player, will draw a card. His 3rd turn of the game. That's another Glacial Fortress. Boy, this could get bad. I don't know if Blood Moon's going to resolve, but this could get bad.
I don't think Nickolai has a ton of interaction in his deck for it here. He's got a negate, a mana leak. Is that seriously it?
Detention Spheres?
But that doesn't count if the Blood Moon actually resolves.
It's true.
Not to say that Mellish has this information, or that he should, but Nickolai for a deck with blue up in Modern doesn't actually have a ton of interaction for
Logic Knot with nothing in the graveyard.
Yep. Let's go ahead and not count that.
Okay, I won't count that then.
Go for it.
Steam Vents.
Get him.
Boy, here. Nope.
Ah.
Gonna play it safe.
But what? I mean, what does that even mean, though? Well, what else are you doing?
Well, just leaving up Remand. Having a little Remand party.
I don't know.
You're like the king of Remand.
I know. He's probably right. I don't think the play's bad, but
here's a little Snappy. That's good.
I mean, even if you've got nothing to do with the spells, it seems like Nickolai's deck is so not about attacking that this Snapcaster play a little befuddled.
Yeah, a little pressure going, I guess. See what we can do. Nickolai considering something else here. What is this? Spreading Seas. Well then.
I'm going for the Remand here because you can get a recast in the Blood Moon.
Yeah. I think he said that's fine. I'd actually rather have an island.
I don't know. If he's trying to
when I play Blood Moon.
If he's trying to combo out with Kiki Jiki, that may not necessarily be the case.
That might be harder, yeah. That's true.
I guess there's no reason to fight over the Spreading Seas because if you have a Pestermite here, you just tap down the Glacial Fortress and then, what counterspell Unless Nickolai's got, you know, a null in his deck or something, then your Blood Moon resolves and you're good.
Main deck a null would be pretty ambitious. I actually kind of dig it.
So my first good FNM deck had 3 in the main.
Different time.
Yeah, Grim Monolith, man. You got to get that.
Yeah. Different game.
Attunement.
Yeah. Jeez. During Replenish era?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna take a lot more than a null to win those games.
Well, that's why you had 25 other counter spells.
Yeah. Here's Path to Exile. James is going to search up the land. There's an island. Now we'll see the Blood Moon, probably.
I should hope so.
Now, I know it's not killing lands, one of your favorite things, but this it kind of counts, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
You could be doing this at the Pro Tour.
Which one?
Sitting in Mellish's seat right now, trying to keep your composure, but just salivating at the prospect of untapping and resolving this Blood Moon.
Yeah, that's true. That does sound kind of nice. It's like, oh, your deck has a lot of basics because you didn't draw any? Well, sorry about that, whammy. Ah, yes.
KO.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you're not interested in this.
Only if it comes with the KO sound from Street Fighter. Bolt that. 10, 9, 8. Could be bad here for Matthew Nickolai. There's a Serum Visions.
Remand that. That's his turn.
Yeah, he was able to play the Shockland untapped because of the new Blood Moon rule change. As if the card wasn't complicated enough.
Well, the old rules were worse.
That's true.
The old rules were your land has no powers unless it's about to enter the battlefield, which isn't really even a concept that exists with lands.
Sure.
In which case it is whatever it's like. That rule is whatever that rule is way worse.
Yeah. It's not great. It's not great. There we go. Let's get these lands all sorted out here.
He drew for his turn.
I'm pretty sure he drew for his turn already. Yeah, let's not do that. James just going to pass. Not much going on. Draw. We're in the Blood Moon state. What's this one? Spreading Seas. No way. Remand that. Wow, you're going to let him have that?
No, yeah. I don't. Okay.
Okay. I can't let him have that. You don't get an island.
Cryptic.
Picked up a copy of Cryptic Command. Yeah.
Combos with Snapcaster Mage.
Does. I don't know why you play Bird all the time. You should be doing this.
I probably should.
Yeah. There's Snapcaster Mage.
Well, I'll say this: the trying to combo out with Kiki Jiki is a little too much for me.
Too easy?
Too hard.
Okay. Stretching your mana base for a triple red threat.
And having to play with Pester Might is just not, you know.
That's a pretty low power card.
Surprised that with Nickolai on 20 that he went for Bolt over Opt.
Yeah, we're going to the aggressive route. Down to 15 now. Pretty long clock. I am a little surprised by that too.
I think I would have just rather looked at another card.
There appears to be a little confusion here. Maybe not. Just kidding. Let's see what this is. Nice. Mountain. I assume the answer is yes. So Spreading Seas. No.
Hell yeah.
I would bounce his land and draw a card. How's that sound? Counter draw. Counter draw for you. Really?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, stamp it. I just bounce land, draw a card, and play land for the turn. Ugh.
So that puts me at a win here with Prowess Creature gets pumped twice in a turn.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay. This would be a nice backdoor win for you.
Yeah.
Since I've been sitting here with 4 squares that win.
Get Kyle Bogomese in for his winning in here.
Oh, boy. There's a Field of Ruin Mountain.
Ooh, Cryptic.
I do wish I would have cast more Cryptic Commands back when it was legal. feel like that may have been an error.
Yeah.
It's a good card. Ooh, what's this? Spreading Seas again. Nah.
Nope.
Nope. And counter that and draw a card. How about no? Drew a Kiki-Jiki. That's good with Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, there's a Serum Visions. Draw a card. Kevin Jones, Harlan Fear, they really, really like this deck. They're kind of the two that put it on the map. Both cards going to go to the bottom here from the scry.
Put Electrolyze to the bottom. That's a person with some big plans.
Don't need 2 damage to draw a card right now. You do better than that.
Means his mana is tied up here, doing some other stuff.
Let's see what this is. Is it Kiki time? Kiki, Jiki. Hello, Mirror Breaker. See, it's good with various creatures that have enters the battlefield abilities.
Right. What's cool here is that you can get back Remand with it.
Yeah.
And you can do that whenever you want.
Yeah. Can remand your permanents forever. Attack you for 4.
It's Cryptic bounces island every turn, whatever you want to do.
That would also be a lot of fun. Ah, yeah, Serum Visions. Kind of want to remand that.
Oh, yeah. You don't know what this
so nice.
You don't know what this person could do with
Yep.
this.
Yeah. Welcome to Blood Moon, everybody. James Mellish is going to win game number 1 here over Matthew Nickolai. 1-0 to Blue-Red Kiki Moon over Blue-White Control. Blue-White Control, by the way, has 8 basics. 8.
But he never drew a Flooded Strand, so he had no opportunity to fetch for one. He just drew Glacial Fortress and Celestial Colonnades. I don't think it's common for Nickolai to get locked out like that, but that is what happened.
Well, when we come back from a quick break, we'll talk about if these Blood Moons should stay in the deck or not and analyze the sideboards. But for now, quick little message from our sponsors. How about a little game number 2 on the way here between Blue-Red Kiki Moon and Blue-White Control, shall we? Okay with you?
Yeah.
After that Blood Moon beatdown,
Yes.
a little Rested in Peace ×2, along with 2 Stony Silence, 2 Timely Reinforcements, 1 of Zaplenty, and Ceremonious Rejection, Celestial Purge, Dispel, Disdainful Stroke, Crucible of Worlds, Mindbreak Trap, Negate, Settle the Wreckage, Vendilion Click.
It's pretty light. I got to be honest. I was expecting to have kind of more for generic control matchups. Isn't a whole lot here. The Vendilion Click, the Negate, the Celestial Purge, the Dispel, and I think the Settle the Wreckage are all very good, but no major upgrades to make here.
The other side of things here for James, he's got 3 Anger of the Gods, 3 Dispel, 2 Abrade, 2 Engineer Explosives, 2 Pia and Karen Nalar, ooh, 2 Vidalcan Shackles, that's nice, and a Keranos, God of Storms.
Love the Keranos. I think the Pia and Karen Nalars are good here, and along with the 3 copies of Dispel.
Some good options, I'd say.
Really good, yeah. I think he gets the better of it. It'll be interesting to see. It's hard to cut Blood Moon after you have a game like that, even if you are supposed to cut Blood Moon. So I'll be interested to see if Mellish bails on it or not. You know, I think if he saw the deck lists, he would probably say I should get away from it. But after what happened that game, you know, psychologically, intellectually, whatever, that's a tough call to make.
8 basics, 4 fetches, and then you also have Spreading Seas to target your own lands.
Right. Like I said, if he saw the deck list in front of him, I think you get away from it. But
Heck, he even got 4 copies of Field of Ruin.
and he may have gotten away from it for all I know, but it's tough to make that call in the moment.
Well, while they work on making that call, I want to talk about the StarCityGames.com holiday sale that ends today. Today. We got 100 new items added daily, but the last day is today, so I would disregard that part. I would not disregard the website, though.
Oh, you can head over to go.starcitygames.com/weekly sale right now. There was a holiday sale that ran from December to January 2 that got extended to today. Sale on all sorts of stuff. Individual cards, sealed products, sleeves, player bundles, the whole nine. So head over to the website now, but you got to get over there today because this is the last day of the sale.
All right. Oh, blue action, huh? People say blue's not good in Modern? Who are they kidding? Blue's great. Well, blue control decks here.
Yeah, I mean, the tournament has a ton of cryptic commands and blue cantrips. Snapcaster mages. Where are people complaining about?
Wish I could play Wild Nickolai.
Yeah, Fatal Push is the end of the road for that.
It is bad.
Bad news for you.
It is a bad deck right now.
Yep.
It's really unfortunate, but it's not good. Celestial Colonnade is where we'll start here from Matthew. For James, it's Scalding Tarn. One at a time. One at a time. Matthew with a Hollowed Fountain untapped. Going to go down to 18 and simply pass the turn back. Over to James. He'll sacrifice the Scalding Tarn. What do you say?
Shadow. I'm not kidding. I mean, you mentioned this yesterday. It only has got to happen to you once.
It takes one time where you're just like, I could never again. Never again.
I know people like to act, I don't want to give my opponent the information. Am I fetching for an island or am I going to get a steam vents tapped? I got to conceal that from them.
Yeah.
Which, you don't, because who cares?
Because they don't care.
Because who cares?
They don't
No
care.
one cares about that. But Shadow of Doubt, I think, is I don't know. That would be a card I would try to play at the Pro Tour because people are sloppy.
Every blue deck should have one.
Right.
Every blue deck should have one.
Yep.
I totally agree.
Covered a Modern Grand Prix a couple years ago. You know who had one in their control deck?
Oh.
Patrick Chapin, the master.
Smart.
The master.
Smart.
And we watched that go down.
How was that for them?
Bang.
Yeah. That is smart. That is smart.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to play fairies.
Cool. 4X Shadow of the Doubt.
It's on color.
Yeah. You get both ends. I can play with it for black or blue.
It's easy with River of Tears.
It's going to be pretty weird if Nickolai just gets locked by Blood Moon again. It's going to be hard to process. Looks like Mellish's hand is all blue cards. So.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if Mellish has his Blood Moon still in his deck.
Right.
I don't think that he should, even though Nickolai keeps drawing like this. There's a basic again. All right, opt. Sure. Scry to the bottom. Draw a new one. Just really want to cast Bitter Blossom and then die.
Yeah, that card has not impressed me.
It's not particularly good. Ooh, he has Blood Moon. He has Blood Moon. Here we go.
Now, the other side of it, yes, the Blood Moons definitely are not particularly good against Nickolai's list, although game one and maybe this game was just otherwise. The flip side of it is it's a lot easier for Mellish to punch through post-board when he's got a bunch of dispels.
That's true. Not too tough at all.
And maybe you're in a spot where you're like, I don't care about the full lock. If Blood Moon is shutting down some number of his non-basics, it's hard for him to win a counter war. And if I can lock Cryptic Command out of the game, then that can be worth it too.
It doesn't have to be you can't play. It can be playing is very hard.
Yep.
Field of Ruin. Okay, then.
Field of Ruin is also nice cover against Blood Moon.
Very nice cover.
In response to the Blood Moon, if you don't want to fight over it, just blow up one of your own non-basics.
I would target Field of Ruin with Pestermite.
Yeah, if you're gonna try to stick the Blood Moon this turn, then you have to tap the Field of Ruin down. Very cagey. Nice play there, but.
Oh, you can only target an opponent's land with Field of Ruin.
Yeah. Same deal though. You can
you get a
basic out of the whole.
Still get a basic.
You get a basic out of the whole thing.
Bang. New plan. Same as the old plan.
It looks like Mellish has access to Blood Moon with Remand backup. Seems like a fine spot to go for it.
Let's do this. So cavalier with how he tosses it onto the table. This is a negate. That is a dispel. All right. All right, logic not. Oh, he didn't play a land.
Yeah, that was not really surprised.
Yeah, he saw the way to play the steam vents. Maybe I should have played this first.
Oh, Nickolai dodged a big one there.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did.
It's also, you know, just what are these 2 points, you know, from the steam vents really be one thing if Nickolai was playing a deck where Mellish's life total was under duress at all.
Yeah.
It's not what's going on here.
You can happily go from 19 to 17. You get that thing to resolve.
You can afford the 2.
Yeah, you get that thing to resolve. We got a brand new ball game. See what this is going to be here from Matthew Nickolai. Serum Visions. Our blue control player has not really gotten anything going here over these 1.5 games, so he's not 11-2 on accident, that's for sure. That's done resolving. And basic island. Pass turn back. We gotta go to James. In again. Pestermite. For 2. Desolate Lighthouse.
It's a big breaker in the control matchups.
Yeah. Gotta like that card. Get rid of the bad ones, get yourself some good ones. Glacial Fortress the land. Now, Field of Ruin, of course, can take care of that Desolate Lighthouse, but you can probably get at least 1 activation. Hello, Spreading Seas. Gotta go out to the Loot House. There's Lighthouse activation. Draw and discard. Picked up a copy of Spell Snare. Curious to see if we'll have a little fight over the Spreading Seas or not.
It kind of just depends on how loaded Mellish's hand is. If his hand's the goods, then you may want to let this one go.
Negate.
And Nickolai there with Cryptic Command in hand, but really not in a position to fight back with Blood Moon and Kiki-Jiki, both major threats he has to concern himself with.
Mm-hmm. Scribe both to the bottom. I thought he kept them on top very quickly, but no. We might just have some beatdowns, man. Just a little of this.
This is the tough part for Nickolai right now is he's kind of getting worked over on a bunch of different fronts. There's the long-term implications of Desolate Lighthouse, although he's answering that right now with Field of Ruin. And there's also just getting hit and having to answer these sort of innocuous threats. It's hard to manage everything. And you go ahead and kill the Pestermite, and Mellish just goes, all right, here's another one, and start chipping you down again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a tertiary battle on what's going on here versus just like what's the random control, you know, Snapcaster counterspell game looking like, and can I win the fight over Blood Moon, that having to commit resources to handle the 2/1 flyers is, you know, it's really annoying. It's a hard thing to do. I suppose you have the opportunity, if you want to, of just leaving Colonnade up, but you can't feel comfortable if Mellish ever makes an attack into your Colonnade, because it represents either an answer to the Colonnade, or him being happy throwing away the Pestermite just to get you to tap out to resolve whatever he wants to resolve.
Let's go over to James now.
Worth noting now that Nickolai has a 3rd island on the battlefield, so he's a lot less concerned with having to fight over the Blood Moon, and if he's able to find a basic plains, he doesn't have to concern himself at all.
It's true. Ooh, what's this? Colonnade?
Yeah, this is what I was speaking to before.
Big thing. I don't know, just Pestermite that thing, I guess.
You gotta...
Yep, tap it down. All right, no blocks allowed. Get in for 2. All right, the clock is real.
And now Nickolai kind of back in the spot where he does have to concern himself with Blood Moon because the Colonnade is what's protecting him from these Pestermite attacks.
Nickolai will draw. Pass the turn back. Mellish will draw.
Players, your round one pairings are going up on yellow paper on the pairings board by the black gathering point. Two-headed giant, your round one pairings are going up.
In for 4. Colonnade's going to get fired up again. All right, let's see what this is. Another Pestermite? Jeez. Jeez.
You can see Nickolai's hand here gummed up a little bit. And he can't really counter, because if he commits the 2-mana to counter, then his Colonnade's tapped anyway.
Mm-hmm. This is blue-red Pestermite, is the name of this deck. Blue-red Pestermite, occasionally Moon. All right, down to 6.
And Mellish with Snapcaster left over, so if Nickolai passes again, you can play your Snapcaster, flash back something.
Present extra lethal.
And Nickolai's got good cards in his hand, but the game is just not taking a shape that allows him to play any of them.
Draw a card here, roll James. It's a strange one we're watching here, but these Pestermites have been very difficult for our blue-white control player.
And you can understand why Nickolai is not trying to cast the Cryptic Commands here, although he's going for it now, is because, you know, that plays right into the counter spells. You kind of like to activate the Colonnade because there's no counter spell that interacts with it. But these Pestermites have been really problematic.
So this is going to be a tap and draw here from a little Cryptic Command. See how James feels about that. If you're James, you have to think, I need to beat 2 counter spells right now. That's what I'm thinking if I'm James.
And you can't say, well, these Cryptic Commands are temporary solutions. I can let these resolve and then eventually punch through. Because Nickolai is, in theory, drawing to Supreme Verdict, which you can't counter. So there is an argument for picking a fight over the Cryptic Command here, because that's something you can actually counter. Nickolai might present something down the road even better that is immune to counter.
Here is Snapcaster Mage. Targeting Dispel. Yep, that's going to go after Cryptic. Fight back a little bit. Time for a negate. Yep, this is the kind of war that Nickolai is going to win.
Yeah, he has to spell back up through this anyway. So.
All right, tap draw. Resolves.
Oh, this is
I think he just picked up Verdict.
Right. So I like Mellish picking the fight there, even though he was unlikely to win, because this is the card you had to beat, and his counter spells don't do anything against it.
Draw a card. Will Matthew Nickolai. Colonnade. So it's actually very important for Blood Moon to resolve for James, because cutting off the white sources is a big deal.
Yeah. And cutting off Colonnade, too.
3 p.m. modern challenge players, your pairings have been posted at the gathering point. Again, 3 o'clock modern challenge players, your pairings are at the gathering point on gold.
Might be Cryptic again. Like, and this is a lot of fun. I mean, obviously he's facing lethal, so he's going to have to do something. He's going to Path to Exile. Okay. Going to go farming. Get new land.
I'm really surprised that Mellish is holding so many lands in his hand now that he has no more access to Desolate Lighthouse, because a lot of these fights are going to come down to just mana.
Yeah, being able to play multiple spells.
Right.
Here's another path via Snapcaster.
And the extent to which you're bluffing goes down when you present lethal, lose the fight over it.
Now Matthew Nickolai says, feel free to attack. Got at least 3 lands in hand. Does James Mellish. All right, both are coming in. Snaps are going to trade. Pessimize is going to come in for 2. Matthew Nickolai is going to fall down to 4. Remember, this red deck, Blue Red Kiki Moon, does have a little bit of reach in Lightning Bolt.
Although, who knows if those are still in the deck.
Electrolyze too. But again, like you said, you don't know if they're still in the deck or not. Let's see, there's a Scalding Tarn. 4 mana, what's this? Oof, that's reach too. I don't think the counter spells line up here.
And really tight sequencing here from Mellish, getting Nickolai to spend all of his mana here. Now the shields on Cryptic Commander down. Can't dispel this. And if this resolves, that could be the last couple points of damage.
Yeah. Pia and Kieran Nalar is what is on the stack right now for Blue-Red Kiki Moon. Well, it's not Kiki Jiki or Blood Moon, but Challenger's parents are looking pretty darn good here.
Yeah, and this card is not necessarily great in the matchup. It's not about anything in particular other than wanting to have more threats in the deck and be able to get away from cards like Lightning Bolt, Electrolyze, and Harvest Pyre that don't do very much. But you really can't let James untap. You might have to Cryptic and Cantrip if you don't have it. Although
that's a big, big, big draw.
That makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah. Did not have that before. Just don't think so.
I was gonna say he might have just had to Cryptic on his own turn and go hunting because Supreme Verdict was the only card left to draw.
Throw a Thopter at you. Yep, put you to 2.
Can he find the last 2 points?
That's the question, right? You got plenty of time to do it in, I would say. Mellish will draw.
Yeah, this is not a. Even though Nickolai's, not facing lethal, you can't feel comfortable against a deck with this many 2-power flash threats to finish the game out.
Looks like the draw may have been Snapcaster Mage. Or he just really wanted to organize his graveyard.
Just take a look.
No reason. Go ahead. No reason.
Just curious.
See what my options are when I do peel my Snapcaster Mage. Thank you. Want to see how big Tarmogoyf's going to be.
And now Mellish is, he's got to try to get it over with, right?
Colonnade going to come in. Pass the turn back. All right, Snapcaster Mage. Nope. Untap and draw. Remand the draw. Perhaps should have waited.
Yeah.
I am a little surprised he cast Snapcaster Mage in that instance because if my opponent fires up Celestial Colonnade, okay, so think about what transpired. Organize my graveyard.
Yeah.
Opponent untaps and goes, okay, there's basically no reason you would do that unless it was Snapcaster Mage.
And you have so many draws to overwhelm him in that spot too, where you just are able to push back.
And then your opponent goes, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to activate Colonnade now and put my shields down hypothetically. It's like, of course they have an answer to it. So you have to wait a little bit, I think.
At least one draw step.
Yeah.
Just try to improve your hand a little bit.
Maybe you find Dispel or, Spell Snare. I don't know.
It's just a lot more likely that your hand gets better than your opponent's hand gets better.
I'll tell you what, Colonnade sure does clean up a game fast.
Yeah. It's pretty low opportunity cost for a Coastal Tower.
Hey, This thing is just hitting in chunks of 4. And you know, what felt like James was at a very high life, till all of a sudden he's facing lethal next turn. So not messing around. Draw a card. And the best part, he doesn't have to attack this turn. There's a Plains. All right, activate. Smush you.
Please make your way to your seats again. 3 p.m. father and child players at Sandler.
Cryptic.
Please make your way to your seats.
All right, dispel that. The plan was bounce draw. Going to target my own Cryptic command. So no. I don't know if that. I don't know if that. I don't know if that colonnade is attacking yet or not. For the record.
I would imagine so.
Well, if I'm going to have this fight
because of Deceiver Exarch or what have you.
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
do it before a decline.
Yes. Yeah, we are still before declare attackers. Well, there's Deceiver Exarch, so there we go. Okay.
Mind Break Trap? Okay, I mean that plays.
Definitely plays. Now if an opponent casts 3 or more spells this turn.
Remand, Cryptic, and the Deceiver. I mean, if you expect the game to be some sort of counter,
it's good if you expect it to be a counter war.
And Nickolai might just think that 4-mana counter spell is above the bar too. So there you go.
That was nice.
That was nice.
Yeah, Matthew Nickolai, James Mellish, they're going to go to game number 3. Did not expect a Mind Break Trap to win game number 2. So blue-white control, blue-red Kiki Moon. Let's get ready for a 3rd and final one. Quick commercial break. Little sponsor, Conversation. Game number 3 about to be underway here between James Mellish and Matthew Nickolai. Blue-red Kiki Moon, blue-white control in just a moment. But Patrick, inquiring minds would like to know.
Yeah.
It appears as though the Oreo company has come out with some new Oreos, my friend. You ready for this?
Okay.
I want to know what your thoughts are. This doesn't. You definitely aren't going to. I don't know. We'll see. Hot and spicy cinnamon Oreos.
Okay.
What do you think about that? You interested?
I think I like an Oreo just fine as far as just cookies go. Not really my thing, but I think Oreos are fine.
So hot and spicy?
I think that all the alternate lines, they're all disgusting. 100% of them are disgusting.
What are your thoughts on chocolate hazelnut Oreos?
Disgusting.
Yeah. There's no way they're good. It's not possible. It's just not possible. The Season 1 schedule here on the SCG Tour. We are here in Columbus, Ohio. It's cold. How cold is it? Great question. I'm glad you asked. I'm taking a look at the weather right now. That's 25. That's not that bad.
The Oreo, the alternate lines of Oreos are an indictment on the theory that the free market provides people what they really want.
That's true.
No one wants any of those, and they make hundreds of them every single year.
We're going to go to Dallas in 2 weeks. We'll be there to talk more about Oreos. Philadelphia for some team open where we might get batteries thrown at us. And then how about Indy for Modern?
Yeah, middle of February, and then March we have Legacy in Worcester, Massachusetts, Modern in Dallas, a team open in Cincinnati towards the end. Then in April we have Modern in Milwaukee, teams in Atlanta. Maybe we'll have teams in Baltimore, Modern in Louisville, and in Minneapolis in back-to-back weekends. The regional championships June 2, and then the weekend after that, the Season 1 Invitational, June 8th through 10th, Modern and Standard as the invitational formats.
Playmats. Hostage Taker, Standard, Oblivion Stone, Modern, Doomsday, Legacy, Free, come play. Like that song?
It's okay.
I thought it was pretty good. It's pretty good. Spur of the moment, little song.
Yeah.
Little shuck and jive. I'd dance. We record that song. Look at that. Right in time for Game 3. Island. Yeah. Saren Visions. We're going to scry not once, but twice. To Matthew Nickolai will go. Colonnade, a game winner. Now, we'll see a Scalding Tarn. Pass that turn back. Opt at the ready. There's a Field of Ruin. Ah, yes, the old non-basic strategy again.
Doesn't have to worry about Shadow down in this spot.
It's true. It's true.
You can hold up, hold tight.
Get a little steam vents, and that's an opt.
What are your thoughts on the idea that there's someone out there, independently wealthy, an heir to the Oreo estate, who spends all day just thinking of disgusting alternate line Oreos?
Life is wonderful.
Right. I've got to do something with my time, you know?
How about mint chocolate chip Oreos or some? How about peanut butter Oreos are probably just good. Take that back. Those are probably just good. There are probably a lot of disgusting flavors though. Banana cream. It's probably out there in the wild.
Somewhere. Oh.
Birthday cake Oreos are a flavor.
It's Blood Moon Dispel time. Let's get it. It's Blood Moon Dispel time.
The 1-2 punch?
Let's get it over with.
Yeah.
Knock him out.
Is that Search for His Content? It is.
It is. Knock him out. Not even gonna Snapcaster up there? You don't even wanna try?
I mean, this card's like a game winner. We're talking about Blood Moon being a busted enchantment.
Yeah.
Search for His Content too.
I'm trying to turn that thing into a mountain too.
Here's a Serum Visions. Disdainful Stroke among the cards.
Pretty narrow, a couple targets here. Copies of Kiki-Jiki and Cryptic Command. And I suppose if you've seen P and Kieran, maybe that's enough to get it over the line. Here we go.
They're snappy. That's what you wanted. You know, I'm surprised we haven't seen more Search for His Content this weekend.
I don't know. Format's so fast. I mean, there's some games that when the games are about this sort of thing, the card looks great.
Yeah.
But so many games of Modern are just
They
you
are quick.
you don't have that kind of time.
It's funny to say the games are so fast when it's a 2-mana enchantment. Like you can just cast it on the second turn on the play. Like you're right. You are right. But it's just that's a humorous statement. The games are so fast that I can just play this on my second turn.
But it takes a long time for it to get it turned over. It's not just I play it and then the game's over. It's then, I got some turns to go.
Here we go.
Knock him out.
Yep.
Here we go. Knock him out.
Blood
Land
Moon
it.
in hand.
Land it. Land it. Land it. He's got a spell snare.
It's decent backup. It's not even great backup.
No,
decent.
it's not. No, it's not. It's not great.
There's Serum Visions.
He's drawn a lightning bolt. Pestermite and Snapcaster Mage among the cards he's looking at right now, both of which seem very good here.
I'd be happy with both.
Well, Pestermite's a really nice way of kind of... Nickolai is going to leave up enough mana to play back at you. He may not leave back that much mana +1.
Ooh. That Field of Ruin is a beating.
Yeah, it takes some of the sting out of the Blood Moon, and also you've scribed it to the top.
Yeah, that's a beating. That's a beating. You ever had that happen? Like you set it up and you're like,
Yes.
I don't want to search, but this is bad crap. I mean, it might not be the end of the world, but we'll see. Search for His Content trigger. There's a basic plans. Okay, so Blood Moon's just getting worse now as we go.
Yeah, so there's the lock you out of the game element of it, like we saw in game 1. There's the it's really hard for you to cast Cryptic Command element of it, which is still online. And there's the I gotta shut off colonnades over the long term for offense defense purposes, which are gonna be on for the whole game. But yeah, it's not gonna be a full lockout. And Mellish might be willing to play this out there and have a small battle over it, but not a big one, because he doesn't care that much if he loses.
Yeah, it doesn't even
it's
matter
no
that much if it
longer a
resolves.
haymaker.
Yep.
So if you trade with some counterspell, that's great. And if it resolves and you take the colonies out for the rest of the game, make Cryptic Command a little bit more challenging, that could be fine too.
Oh, there's negate. Novi fight back. I mean, Spell Snare's fine to fight back here.
Right, I like picking this little battle here. You know, you're converting a couple cards that, you know, if you trade the Spell Snare with a negate, I think that's a win. If the Blood Moon resolves, great.
All right, let's go searching for Escanta.
And Mellish with Kiki-Jiki plus Pestermite in hand. So, you know, you can see what the hope is here, is to get Nickolai to pick little battles over things that don't really matter, or be disruptive enough where the shields are low. But it's hard to make these tools line up the right way against someone with just a lot of counter spells and removal. In the meantime, though, Mellish happy to just chip away. And who knows how much Lightning Bolt's going to be on Nickolai's radar, too. It's possible Mellish might be able to get some chip shots in and finish with some unexpected burn spells.
Keranos? Yes.
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 That is a card. That is a magical card. I would not read that. That's not a good card to read.
You want to counter that.
Yep.
You want to counter that.
No, can't spell that.
And your detention sphere is on that Blood Moon.
Mm-hmm.
This is This is the bait.
Hook them. Hook them.
Hey. Our compatriot Chad Castell
yes.
played against Ali Antrazi, playing a Jeskai Control Secure the Waste style build in the team open in Baltimore.
Do nothing control deck.
Ali was able to get that card on the table.
How'd that go?
It was over fast. Fast.
I think the trick here is make sure Keranos does not turn on, does not become a creature, so it cannot be hit with a card like Path to Exile. Sulfur Falls, the draw.
And this is what this blue-red Kiki Moon deck's into. It's multiple angles of attack. It's try to win the long game, try to chip away at you and your life total with just random points of damage, make you have to play very conservatively or inefficiently because you're worried about being killed out of nowhere. And you're kind of seeing little bits and pieces of all of it right now.
Ah, Colonnade blocking strat. Pestermited. Okay. We've seen that play before. Slow down there, Colonnade. In for 2.
I wish Mellish was doing a little bit less on his main phase. I wish there was more Sego, end of your turn, Pestermite, target your Colonnade. And then untap with all of my mana.
Sure. Well, let's clean them up. A little Supreme Verdict. Can't do much about that. Uncounterable, obviously. Keranos trigger. All right. Draw land and draw another card. It seriously makes no sense to me that you're not playing blue decks exclusively in Modern. You love Snapcaster, you love Remand, you love Cryptic Command.
I do love all of these.
You love all of these cards. Reflector Mage should probably find its way in your deck. Play Cavern Souls naming Wizard, whatever their creature types are.
Splash for Blood Moon.
Yeah. Just all basics.
Right.
Evolving Wilds and Fetches.
Right.
Yeah. That'd be perfect. There's this Gaunt to the Sunken Ruin. Longer it goes, the worse it might get here for James. Because his Kanta's here now?
Well, you got to kind of tax his mana on the 2 fronts. You got to put some pressure on him now so he has to invest mana in the Colonnade.
Bzz.
Bang.
Let it be known.
Yeah.
All right, down to 9. That's
Well,
risky. That's risky business with Keranos out there.
Right now you have Snapcaster Bolt, and like you got to do, you know, you can't just, you got to start fighting over these cards.
Yep. What do we got? Logic Knot? Well, the target's definitely Snapcaster Mage.
Now you remand your own Snapcaster Mage, and now there's another.
It's another thing you got to fight over.
Fight over something innocuous.
Remand it.
It's just you're fighting this fight over, like the third tier of his cards.
Ah, yes, the trap.
Got him.
Got them all. Got them all.
Good spot.
Yeah.
Yet another good spot.
The trap has been good. The trap has been good. Bzzz, opt. Carol's going to do you 3. Boy, I hope Matthew Nickolai has more detention spheres in his deck.
Well, you got to be able to cryptic the Keranos and then win a fight over it on the way back.
Perhaps. Are we in? We're in turns, I think, folks. What turn are we in? Is the question. Ooh, Vendilion Click. Hello. Matthew's turn 0. That's Consa to the bottom. All right, so this should be turn 0 then, I believe. Turn 1. Just kidding.
So Mellish gets
D-Sphere. Can't cast that D-Sphere fast enough, trust me. Here's Gideon first.
You can Gideon and make an emblem.
You can Gideon and just target Keranos, deals no damage.
Sure.
That works. In for 3.
That makes Mellish want to leave a land on top, although I guess he doesn't have agency over what he leaves on top with Opt.
Yep. Until next turn, prevent all damage target permanent would deal. Boy, that's nice. Here's Opt. There's Alls. Scry 1. I think he saw the second card down on accident. Probably just a shuffle.
Well, I don't know if you can shuffle because there's been things going to the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, that's true.
Who knows,
He saw that second card.
And seeing the second card is really important here because he has Keranos in play.
Oh, yeah, definitely matters. Definitely matters. Clearly accidental. We have our head judge looking to look some things over.
And at this point, tracking what is on the bottom of the deck is pretty complicated because the game's gone on for a dozen turns.
All right, shuffle and a warning.
We'll see now, but 3 turns that's a lot of opportunities for Nickolai to finish out this game. He may be able to get it done in time. Especially with Keranos shut out.
Snappy snap.
I mean, is he just bolting down the Vendilion Click here?
That's a good question.
I don't know if he's playing. I don't know if Mellish at this point is trying to play to preserve his life total and get a draw here, or if he's still trying to proactively win the game. Because with a Colonnade and a Click and the Gideon, Nickolai can get this done in 2 turns. It's not no risk here that Mellish loses. So that's the determination now that Mellish has to make. It looks like that bolt is going upstairs and Nickolai drops to 3. So no trigger there from the Keranos, as that is currently being covered by the Gideon. And now, Vendilion Click.
Well, this is a classic blue on blue.
Yeah.
Path is going to go towards Click, it looks like.
So the path resolves.
Okay. Trigger's targeting Matthew. Trigger's still on the stack.
And I think Nickolai is asking about Mind Break Trap with Snapcaster Mage.
Okay.
Yep. Similar to the way that you can't Snapcaster Force of Will and pitch a blue
Yeah,
card.
you can't do
It's
that.
the same.
Yep. Detention Spheres in the grip. So just a convoluted stack. See both players trying to figure out where are we?
All right, so I think this everything is in play that's supposed to be in play.
Yep.
And now we have a Vendilion click trigger that I think is about to resolve.
Well, Matthew showed the Detention Sphere.
Yeah, and Mellish said that's fine.
Yeah, because there's really nothing to Sphere. So now we have, okay, interesting. That's fine. He's tapped out though.
The last card in his hand, I think, is a
Sulfur Falls versus D-Sphere. Okay, so we can copy this and opt.
or Serum Vision or whatever.
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
But as things currently stand, based on what we know, Nickolai can't stop the top of the deck.
All right, so it is going to be Serum Visions. All right, so draw a card, scry 2. Definitely better than opting.
And keep in mind the implications of Keranos here.
Well, I think a Gideon's just on Keranos duty now.
Right, but you want to force that. You want to force that. If you know.
Like the Gideon just probably has to just keep plussing on Keranos.
Right.
For infinite being the next 2 turns, but yeah.
And Nickolai can't generate lethal this turn. His coming turn.
Yeah. Okay. So in for 4 now.
Well, Snapcaster's got a block. This is lethal.
Yep, I mean, he wants to block the real one, of course, not the fake. So down to 1. Yep.
Can you imagine you're going to Detention Sphere here?
We'll see what the draw is, I guess. Turn 3. I think it was another Gideon, I think.
And you see sorting out the mana here, saying if can I make a colony attack. I guess the interesting line to explore is, can you go Gideon, make an emblem, play another Gideon, and plus, and lock the Keranos down,
and then still
now you're covered.
Not be able to lose.
You're covered on turn 4.
Yeah.
And then can you produce lethal on turn 5?
Yeah. Okay.
That is the line. And if you're able to lock down Keranos and have a Gideon emblem, really hard to imagine dying on the 4th turn.
And that's the only turn that really matters.
So.
Okay, here's D-Sphere. Yeah, Gideon Emblem's going to come in. Okay, so there's... Okay, so that's going to take care of Kiki Jiki. Now, the next Gideon's probably going to come. We're getting a Gideon Emblem. So, yep, there's the Gideon Emblem. Now here is Gideon of the Trials again. Going to target Keranos. As long as you control a Gideon Planeswalker, you can't lose the game, your opponent can't win the game. Now, there are draws that do exist to get out of this.
Well, it's hard because it has to be multiple draws, because you have to get the Gideon off of the battlefield, and you have to come up with a point of damage.
It's possible. You just go Cryptic Man, bounce to draw a card.
Yep.
Final Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, there are ways to do it, but it's a multi-card sequence.
Oh, yeah. All right, big on tap. Turn 4 for James Mellish. Opt. Yeah, no damage is going to be dealt. Prevent all damage from target permanent. Yeah. Got excited there for a minute, I'm sure. All right, looks like we're going to start with that opt. Scry 1. No good. Draw a card. Is it just a pass? Boy, turn
Okay.
5.
Well, I don't think you can come up with 15.
15 right now would be tough. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be a draw. It looks like it's just going to be a draw. They will shake hands, and what a time for a draw. 11, 2, and 1. That might mess up some tiebreaker math, as those two just played a marathon affair in round number 14. They shake, they laugh, they get ready for their last and final round. We'll see if they can